Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the brofict one, AJ. And we're here. We're here. It's Friday. We've got a hell of a Power Slap 15 card. Bordeaux and Quinones, number 3, the first trilogy in Power Slap history. And I'm ready to break down every fight on the prelims and the main card. Gonna just do the live ones, not the dark ones, because there are no lines out on the dark ones. But great card up and down. Absolutely love the odds we're getting on some of these fights. And I think we have a real opportunity here. But before I go any further, do just want to take a moment. Shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble. Over on YouTube and X, y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons. Hit the follow buttons. Does help out a lot more than you know. But again, great fight card in Vegas tomorrow night for Power Slap 15. And we're going to go ahead and just get it started off the bat. Let's get into it. We got AJ Static Hints going up against Stunt Marshall in a middleweight 3-round match. Stunt Marshall will be slapping first on this one. He is minus 130 on the money line. AJ coming in at plus 110. Now, Stunt Marshall, fairly new to the Power Slap ranks. He is 1-0 after Power Slap 14 unanimous decision. And AJ's got that experience behind him and really does 4-2-2 on the in his career of Power Slap, and has been with Power Slap since Power Slap 2 and has been an absolute dog. And we know he's got the chin on him. He can go the distance. That's not really what I'm worried about. Has the power and the form behind him. But Stunt Marshall, which honestly, he doesn't even need a nickname in Power Slap. That is just such a solid Power Slap name for him. But Stunt Marshall, headbanger, just an absolute headbanger in his last one. Knocked him out cold, head banged off the thing. It was a beauty. I love the way he slaps, and I think he is going to continue to rise, and I think this is going to be a very definitive matchup in his young career in Power Slap. So I will be taking Stunt Marshall minus the 130 on here. I have seen these lines move around a little bit today. Earlier when I was looking at it, he was sitting at minus 105. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see more money and more bets coming in on him as we do get closer to the first slap of the night, which will be AJ and Stunt in a 3-round matchup. Next one, we are going to go to the women's flyweight division for a 3-round match versus Ellie Belly Dempster. And what is this one? Haley J. James. I like Hollywood. She should just stick with Hollywood, like Haley Hollywood James as her name. The whole Hollywood Haley J thing in the end, like in the middle, and then you got to say the James thing. I think that's a little weird, but let's talk about how she slaps, because Hollywood will be slapping first in this one. And both of them relatively new. Both of them a 1-0 record in recent Power Slap events, 13 and 14 respectively. Both of them have gone the distance. The difference being Hollywood won this one in the 3rd round with a KO, as Ellie Dempster, I don't know what I'm going to call her, but Ellie, her winning by unanimous decision after a 3-round match. And so I am going off of the power that we've seen with Haley, and she is slapping first. Now, this is interesting. I did have this line as Haley minus 140 going into this one. Now moving to plus 105 as of this recording, and I still like it. I still like Haley in this one, especially with slapping first. Plus 105, I'll take the juice all day long. Haley plus the 105. All right, next prelim we got coming up, Brandon the Ripper Rhodes going up against Trenton Bordeaux. This will be another middleweight matchup for 3 rounds. Brandon Rhodes will be slapping first, and Brandon has a hell of an impressive resume, 2-1-2, so you don't really like those 2 draws there, but better than a loss, I guess. And beat Emmanuel Munez in Power Slap 10. And just has quality victories and quality draws over quality opponents. And I think that's one thing that really separates Brandon away from the rest of them. He is sitting at number 7 right now in the rankings of the middleweight division. And I like his form. I like what he does. Now, Trenton Bordeaux making his debut in Power Slap. And this is where everything gets a little touchy for me as a gambler, because it is a different stage, even if he was in the dark prelims or something like that. Typically not as big of a crowd is there, just with the way everything is. Which is, always interesting to be betting on or against. But going in blind on this one, I'm going with experience. I'm going with knowing how to control emotions around a crowd, knowing how to kind of just handle the business. But I love it. I love it. And Brandon, I will say, his form is something that I think we're seeing a little bit more in Power Slap when it comes to the mill weights and the flyweights and lightweights. A lot of them, they do the full wind up, you know what I mean? So they can measure that out so to try to not get clubbing fouls. And I totally get that. But Brandon's got almost like a boxing style to it, like still comes around with the slap. So it's not like a straight punch or anything, but I like that he gets that snap there the way he does. And I think that's going to set him apart from Trenton. It's not a type of slapping that we've seen often in Power Slap. And I think that's going to help separate him here from Trenton. Next one coming up, we got Juicy Finau going up against Zach the White Hulk Lansing in a super heavyweight match here for 3 rounds. Gotta love the super heavyweights going at it. Juicy will go ahead and be slapping first. He does hold a 1-0 record, as Zach Lansing does hold an 0-1 record here. So both fairly new to the ranks of Power Slap, but with both of them with some great fights, under their belts. And I do think it is worth noting that Juicy did win via decision, in Power Slap 14. Now, I will say, typically, you throw an Samoan my way, they've got the chins, they've got the power behind them, especially at the superweights. And we've seen a lot of people of Samoan descent dominate the superweight division here in Power Slap. But Juicy, when I see him slap, when I was watching tape, he gets on his heels a little bit early. And, don't get me wrong, like, I understand these guys are slapping the absolute shit out of each other, and he is taking some strong hits. I get that, but it worries me when we're talking about, a 3-round match and potentially a 5-round match down the line, that he was, getting wobbly on me in round 1. And so that is what I'm concerned about with Juicy here. With that being said, don't like where the line's at, but I am going with the power here. I'm not a fan of how Zach Lansing performed in his first matchup at Power Slap 13, and I think that's kind of why Dana may have waited to bring him back on, but I'm going to be going with Juicy here, minus the 260. Again, not a fan of the line, but wouldn't be surprised also if this one does go the distance. Next one up, we do have another women's flyweight matchup here. Jackie, the hybrid Cataline versus Abby Brave Montez in a 3-round match. Abby Montez will be slapping first in this one. She does hold a 1-0 record right now in Power Slap. Jackie, on the other hand, 1-2-1. Jackie hasn't won by KO. Her only win's been by decision. And so the fact that she's able to stick in there, I mean, sure, I'll give her that for her 1 win. But then another loss by split decision and a loss by a KO in first round, that's worrisome. That's worrisome. And then Abby in her only matchup, winning TKO by slap in round 2. I'm going with the power that we've seen already. So give me Abby Montez minus the 190 here. Again, not loving the juice there, but that's a bet, and they won't expand to rounds yet. I've not been able to find a legal sports book in Arizona that has expanded to like rounds or method yet. And if you have, please drop that in the comments, drop that in the chat. I would love to know where I can start betting those. But then I'm sorry, that's the first match. That was the first match on the main card for Jackie Cataline and Abby Montez. We're going with Abby Montez in the opener of the main card. Second match coming to you on the main card, we've got Nate, the Buffalo Soldier Bernard, number 2 in the heavyweight division, going up Aaron, the Colossus Turner, number 7 in the heavyweight division for 3 rounds. Nate Bernard will be slapping first, coming in with a 2-3 record here in Power Slap, coming off a win. Big win against Pono Pao in Power Slap 13. That was a hell of a fight. Not even a hell of a fight. He knocked his ass out in round 1. And I got to say, I had Pono Pao going into that matchup. Nate Bernard earned a hell of a lot of respect from me. Going in there and handling business in round 1. Really like what he did against Pono Pao. And Aaron Turner, not bad either, coming in with a 2-1 record. Great win against, Wesley Mena, who's, a veteran here in Power Slap. But again, Nate has really impressed me, and I think he's going to take that win and continue to roll with that momentum going up against a less experienced opponent here in Aaron Turner. Now, with that being said, I don't know. I'm going with Turner. I'm going with Turner to just kind of turn it around. As long as he can keep it clean, I think Bernard's going to foul, and that's one thing watching the tape that I've seen a lot of is, Bernard being close to that foul line, close to the clubbing, close to the finching. And it really feels like the officiating has started to tighten up a little bit on that, hopefully. So I am going to give this one to Aaron Turner, sitting at plus 120 right now. Again, it was plus 140 earlier today, so we are seeing some movement there. Didn't mean to do that. Who did I pick here? Brandon? No, yeah, I picked Brandon. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, so I'm taking Aaron Turner plus money here. The 120, less experience, sure, but again, I think Bernard's he's gonna foul. I think he might even foul out on this one. All right, that leads us to our co-main event, light heavyweight matchup, Austin Terp Daddy Slim Turpin. Number 3 going up against Stevie Ray, Texas Hand Grenade Ellis. Stevie Ray Ellis will be slapping first. He is coming into this one with an 0-1 record, with a draw via DQ and fouls in Power's Road to Power Slap. No, Power Slap or Road to the title. I got to get that title straight. But yeah, this is a no question for me. This feels more like a tune-up match than anything, and I think that's why we're seeing the line where it's at. This was at 340 earlier today, now down to minus 425. I'm not surprised. I think that line is going to continue to go down. I think Austin Turpin can take that one in the first round if he really wants to. And that leads us to the trilogy, to the finale of this trilogy that has been so much fun to follow and so much fun to cover here in Power Slap. We've got champion Braden the Butcher Bordeaux in the middleweight division going up against Isaiah the Puerto Rican pretty boy Quinones. This is a fun one. This is such a fun one. I absolutely love when we get to see these two guys square off against each other. It is all gas, no brakes. They're going to slap the crap out of each other. No ifs, ands, or buts. This matchup tied 1-1. Bordeaux getting the better of Quinones in the second matchup, getting that title, and and that was his last match. And that's what I find interesting. That was his last match defending this title, was Isaiah Quinones back in March in Power Slap 12. While Quinones, he's been continuing to go. Power Slap 13, Power Slap 14, splitting a win and a loss there. A big win over Emmanuel Munez, in my opinion, and then a loss to Isaiah Rodriguez, who I do think is going to have a good future. I think he won that one, and my notes are wrong. I would need to go back and double check that. Regardless, I'm going with recency bias here. I'm going with what have you done for me lately, and what you've done for me is actually fight, and you've fought recently, and you've been been on the stage, been on the podium, and taken the hits, and have gotten better. I'm taking that. I think Brandon is going to be a little bit rusty going into this, and Quinones is going to take this one within the 5 rounds. I think he wins this one by knockout or TKO. I don't think this goes the distance. If it does go the distance, it's going to be because of fouls on both sides. And, Quinones does worry me with his fouls. I'm not going to lie. He does worry me with his fouls, but I will be taking Isaiah Quinones plus the 100. Give me that Puerto Rican pretty boy here for the finale of this trilogy. Gonna be a fun one. Power Slap 15 live from Las Vegas tomorrow night. Let's run through this parlay. Plus 6,259. We're doing Stunt Marshall to open the night. Haley James to continue. Juicy Fee now. Abby Montez. Aaron Turner. Brandon Rhodes, Austin Turpin, and Isaiah Quinones to round it out. Gonna be a great fight night to kick off what is a great fight weekend with UFC 320 on Saturday. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But that is all I got today in the world of Power Slap. Just wanted to go ahead and get my picks in before maybe taking a trip. Who knows? Who knows? But hey, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to everyone here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help us out a lot more than you know. With that, have a great weekend. Enjoy Power Slap 15. Good luck. God bless. I'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.